Welcome to the SAU Report. I'm Leigh Griffin.
And I'm Thomas Hart.
This week we have a physical plant worker. His name is Keith Labit. And so, Keith, what made you decide to work at SAU?
Well, I started out at McDonald's and I decided that wasn't going to work for me, so I needed to find something else. And my fiance told me to check out SAU's website, and I did. So I put in an application and they called me about a month or so later.
What do you do at the physical plant?
Generally, all we do is mow the grass, keep the lawns kept up, and sometimes we'll have work orders come in that require us to move furniture from building to building or store it in our warehouse or anything like that.
So do y'all have any involvement of like the landscaping around like the new band hall?
We weren't told to do anything around the band hall right now, being that there are construction workers right there, but I'm pretty sure that it will become a part of our agenda as soon as they have it up and ready for us.
Well, how long have you been working for SAU?
I've been here now for a little bit over 3 months.
So do you plan on this being a long-term job, or?
I plan on staying here for quite a while because I enjoy the people that I work with, and I don't really have a problem with anything that we're doing right now. So,
I know SAU, if you work for them, you go to school for free. Are you going to take that advantage?
Yes, I do plan on taking that advantage, and actually coming up in August, I plan on registering.
Where do you plan on registering at? Do you want like tech or SAU Tech? 'Cause I know tech allows you to take classes with being an SAU student, or not student, an SAU worker, and you could go here and where else?
Yeah, I can go here at SAU, SAU Tech, or South Arc in El Dorado. But I plan on taking a couple of online courses at SAU Tech, being that it's such a far distance away. And afterwards, I do plan on registering here at SAU and take some night classes.
What kind of classes do you want to take?
Well, I'm still working on my general studies right now, but after I get those out of the way, I plan on going into a computer field, computer specialist or computer tech.
So you said you were working on, have you taken classes here before?
Not physically here at SAU, but at my high school in Emerson, we got to take concurrent hours, and I started that when I was in 9th grade, so I've got some hours built up now.
Can you tell us what concurrent hours actually means?
Concurrent hours is when we are doing our regular high school classes, but at the same time we are earning our high school credits, our college credits, sorry.
So I hear your father was in the military. Did that have an effect on you growing up?
Yes, that had a very big effect. When the Iraqi war started, he was sent in March of 2004, and he didn't make it back until close to 2005, I believe. And he was sent back early before everybody else in his unit because of his injury. He was hit by a mortar attack, which shot metal all over the place, and it caught him in his ankle and his elbow.
I heard that at one point in time, your dad got to come when he came back after getting injured, he was able to go to a football game, something for SAU football game.
Yeah, as soon as he came back, we were able to actually go into the box, the press box up at SAU field, and he invited his family also. Dr. Rankin invited him and his family.
That's pretty interesting there. So, do you and your dad have a close bond?
I feel that for the time that he was gone, we did kind of drift apart a little bit because we really didn't have much of communication between each other. But when he came back, we became a lot closer as soon as he came back.
More.
Yeah, I do.
So, your living arrangements whenever your dad was gone, because I know your parents aren't together anymore, did you move in with your mom, or?
Before the Iraqi war started, he already had gone on a peacekeeping mission in Bosnia, and while he was gone in Bosnia, I had a choice to either go to my grandparents or go to my mom's, and I just decided to go to my mother's house. We stayed there, me and my brother. We stayed there for about 6 or 7 months until he came back. But during the Iraqi War, I was old enough to make a choice to stay where I was at and live with my stepmom at the time.
And so that's where you stayed until you graduated in Emerson?
Yeah, I graduated last year in Emerson, and I stayed there for I stayed in Emerson for about 5 years.
So you're still close to home?
Yeah, I plan on staying around for a good while until something else comes up, such as, my fiance. Her field has, she has a broadcast major and everything, so that requires possibility of moving away from here.
So can you tell us a little bit what you do in your spare time when you're not working 8 to 4? Is it 8 to 4, 8 to 5?
It's 7:30 to 4:30. It's the odd times.
So describe a perfect day, like a day off. What would you do?
A rainy day.
Rainy day.
When it rains, we really can't do too much around campus because the grounds are too wet and the grass too wet. It'll clog up the mowers and such. We might have a work order to move one furniture to another building or whatnot, but most of the time we will stay in the warehouse and clean up in there because the days that we are outside working, it gets pretty messy.
Yeah.
Well, back to my previous question that got, what do you like to do in your free time?
I like spending time with my family sometimes, my younger brother and my sister, even though they get a little annoying after a while, but I like spending time with them, my dad and my wife.
Oh, so you're married?
Yeah, I got married this month, actually.
Oh, really? So what's wedding life like, or not, marriage life?
Well, it's pretty much the same because we've been living together for almost a year now, but it's had a slight differences here and there.
A lot more fighting?
Not really, not too much.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So, have you ever had any life-changing experiences?
I'd have to say that an experience that changed my life a lot was when my dad left for Iraq and he made it back alive. I was happy about that, but that really changed a lot of my outlook on life.
Well, how's your dad doing right now, today?
He's good. He retired last year out of the military for 20 years, and right now he's working at Alcoa, the plant here in Magnolia. So he's been doing really good.
Back a little bit to your job here on campus. What are some other things you do besides like beautification of the campus? Do y'all like one day I saw y'all like putting up grass patches, I guess, was it?
It's sodding. We were putting out some sod because at certain points around campus there's nothing but dirt there. So we would dig it up and put some more fertile soil there in order for the grass to grow, and we would lay sod on top of it just like tiles on the floor.
Is that a hard job?
It takes a toll on my back sometimes, bending up and down, but it's not too bad.
What's been the most challenging part of the job?
I can't really say there isn't much of a challenge. All you have to do is, pretty much just show up and do what you need to do. I was told not to really kill myself trying to work out there, just keep it a steady pace and make sure I'm busy doing something.
So busy doing something but you have to be working at all times, at least if it's, mowing the grass or picking up pine cones.
When we generally have nothing to do, we would go ahead and rake up pine straw if it's needed or leaves. And now that it's getting really close to the summertime, the grass is growing a lot faster. So we have to cut the grass at least 2 or 3 times a week. So, and weed eating, the weeds are getting pretty bad also. So every day, me and one of the guys that I'm normally working with, we always go outside with a weed eater and a blower to keep the grass off the parking lot.
So do y'all have a lot of student workers that help out there?
I've seen quite a few, but in my department, we only have 3. So they do have a lot of involvement there, which of course they can only work, 15 hours a week, but they do help out a lot.
Are you looking forward to mowing the grass in 120-degree weather this summer?
Not really.
Why
That's going to be very hot, but I believe I'll be all right. As long as I have some water, I'll be good.
So I bet your wife is going to make you take a shower when you get home.
Oh, I know.
So back on the married life, you're young. You're 19.
Yes.
Do you feel like being married so young has changed you?
I believe it has matured me a lot faster than what I would have without being married, but I've enjoyed it. I know it may have changed me a little bit, but I'm still enjoying it.
Now, how did you and your wife meet?
Well, the only good thing that really came out of McDonald's was actually where we met. We
Yeah.
met working at McDonald's, and at first she may not have stood me. She couldn't really stand to be much near me, but that's okay though.
Then comes love.
Yeah, we got together and everything.
So go in a little more detail about, how long were you working there when y'all met and like really started working together and stuff?
I was there for almost, I'd say about 10 to 12 months before she really started working with me. She switched from morning shift to evening shift, and I had to work evening shifts also because at the time I was still in high school. But she switched over to evening shift, and we got to work more and more together, and I guess we just grew together and everything. So.
Well,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
So what are some of your future plans with your wife? Do y'all plan on having children anytime soon, or?
Not too soon. Maybe, I'd say probably about 2 to 3 years from now, the possibility of children in the mind, but.
So does your wife enjoy you working on campus?
I believe so. She hasn't really said anything too bad about it, but.
Probably watch the girls or something like that.
Well, she does tell me to be careful around them and not to misbehave.
Good wife.
Well, getting back to your going to school, you said you're going to think about taking computer classes. Have you thought of a minor, or would you just take your general?
I've looked at several degrees here at SAU, and the one that I was interested in is it requires me to minor in mathematics as well as major in computer science. So I'm probably going to be looking into that one a little deeper.
So education means a lot to you.
I was told growing up, in order to get anywhere in life, you have to know what you're doing and have a good education in order to have a decent job.
So, you also told us earlier that you're at once in the military. What changed that?
I was in it for almost a year, a little bit over a year, sorry. I was in there for a little bit over a year, and I was in there long enough to see what really went on, and it wasn't something I enjoyed doing anymore, so I decided to get out while I could.
So, I know like right now I know getting kind of into politics areas and whatnot, but was a lot of it because you knew there's a good chance of you being drafted out somewhere?
I'm pretty sure that had a pretty good influence on my decision, but what really changed my mind was the fact that I couldn't see myself staying in the military for another 20 years and going through what my dad went through.
So a little bit on education again. Computers is like a big interest for you, and what if that wasn't what you fell upon? What if that's not what you decided to do? What would you lean upon for your education?
I'd probably go with math because I'm pretty good with math. Not the big complicated math problems. I don't really like those, but
College algebra.
Well, I've already passed that.
Is that one of those that you got taken out of the way for your concurrent hours?
Yeah, I've gotten that one.
What kind of classes do you have out of the way with your concurrent hours?
I've gotten, I'm going to say I've got about 4 or 5 classes out of the way, math classes out of the way. I know I've got college algebra, trig, and calculus out of the way. And I believe I have a history out of the way also.
So slowly you're getting your classes out of the way. Do you plan on ever just going to school full time and not doing just a couple hours here and a couple hours there to finish sooner?
Well, that'd be very hard in today's world, being gas prices are going higher and higher every day. But I don't think I'd be able to do that because money's pretty tight in today's economy. So it'd be very hard if I did decide to do that.
So if you could work anywhere else, or not, let me rephrase that. Besides SAU, if you had the choice, would you stay in this area and commute, or would you like to move out to somewhere else like Texarkana or Little Rock and commute here and work for SAU, or do you want to move to something bigger and better eventually?
One day I would like to get away from this general area because this is where I grew up, and I'd like to see what else is out there. But I wouldn't want to go too far away because this is where all my family is, and I'd still like to see them once in a while. But I would like to get somewhere bigger than Magnolia.
Well, where do you see yourself in, say, 10 years from now?
I'd say I'd be in a bigger city around in this general area, and I'd own my own house. Me and my wife would probably have probably just one kid for now. But yeah, I believe that's where I'd want to be.
So kids are important. I know you're talking about your family and your family being important. Is that an important thing for you?
Yes, I enjoy kids. I enjoy being around kids. I have 2 younger siblings. One is 8 and one's 4. So I really enjoy them.
Well, don't you have another brother? You said 2. I thought you said earlier you had 3.
Yeah, I do have another one, but he's sort of outgrown the younger children's stage. He's 13 now, so he's growing up pretty fast.
So do you want to have a lot of kids like your dad? You know that your dad's got 4 kids. So are you wanting to have that many kids, or do you want to?
No, I just want 2 children, 1 boy and 1 girl. So that's all I'm asking right there.
So are you one of those hard-working men that don't want your wife to work, or you want to?
I'd prefer her not to have to work unless she really wanted to. But I'd like to be able to support my family and my wife and everything, and if she wants to get a job, that'd be fine,
So is the income enough to take care of you and your wife right now?
Not right now. Just starting out at SAU, I'm going to say the salary is good, but it's not that good.
It's better than flipping burgers?
Oh, yes. It's a lot better than flipping burgers. It's a lot less stressful, too.
And you get to stay outside and check out all the pretty girls?
I enjoy the outside. We don't really have time to check out anybody.
Well, how long did you work at McDonald's before you came to SAU?
I was there for almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been 2 years and about 2 months.
What all did you do?
I could pretty much do everything around the store. I could cook, I could assemble the burgers, take orders and such. They tried to get me to be a manager, but I didn't really look forward to that one. I didn't want to be a manager and have to work night and day. So.
Yeah.
So getting back on working at SAU a little bit more, and what has been the best thing to come out of it so far? The benefits, or
It does have good benefits, such as retirement insurance and dental insurance and stuff like that. But I'd have to say the best thing that's come out of it is the different people that I've met. I really enjoy the people that I work with, and I don't really see any reason why to leave. When people are here that I really enjoy working with.
So the work environment's better. You get better. You actually get. Is it free insurance?
Yes, it's the health insurance is free, but the dental insurance is on a voluntary basis. So that comes out of my paycheck every month.
So that's like $40 a month that they take out.
Yes, now that I've put my wife on insurance with me, it's about $45 a month.
So she was your fiance before, and now she's your wife. Since you've been working here, does she enjoy the benefits?
I believe so, because I mean she's only got one more class to finish, so that's going to help us out a lot. Because spouses also get an 80% tuition waiver.
So, like, I went blank there, but what are some things that you and your wife get to do when she's not working and you're not working? Because I know y'all probably just cross paths a lot.
Yes, between her school and work and my work, we cross paths quite a bit, but there are a couple of days that she's off and really doesn't have a whole lot that she needs to get done. So sometimes we'll go out of town and go out to eat or just walk around the mall or whatnot.
Now, how would you balance work and then school? Would you go to night school, or would you?
Well, being that the physical plant is only open between 7:30 and 4:30, I would be required to take night classes. I couldn't be able to take off of work in order to go to a class. So and they also require that you work full time, which will be 40 hours in order to take that benefit.
So, besides, I mean, like, when you go home and you finally get time to spend with your wife, I mean, she's got to be exhausted, right?
Oh,
Working
yes.
and going to school.
Oh yes.
So I mean, is it like y'all see each other and that's it? She goes to sleep or?
No, sometimes we'll lay back and watch a movie. We cook dinner together sometimes, every now and then, and we just enjoy each other's company most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
So, what are some of your favorite activities to do outside work?
I couldn't say that I enjoy weed eating, but it has to be the easiest thing to do around here, around campus and stuff.
What about outside of work?
I'm not really sure. I know I like to hang out with my friends every now and then and just visit with them.
Movie buff, video game person, computer person?
I'll get on the computer every now and then, play a game here and there, and I have a PS2 also. I'll play it here every now and then also, and I like movies, though. I enjoy watching the movies too. So
you got a nice movie collection going on?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on getting it built up.
So what kind of things do you do? Do you like helping work outside in the yard, or what do you do to help your wife out?
I try to do laundry. Most of the time, that's all she asks for me is to do the laundry or keep the house clean and neat and straightened up and everything.
So you do exactly what she says. She says do it and you do it?
No, not all the time. There's some boundaries.
So do you get to see a lot of your friends outside of work a lot?
Well, during work, a lot of my friends, they actually go to school on SAU campus. And as I'm walking around campus weed eating or whatnot, I can stop and talk to them for a little bit.
Well, Keith, thanks for coming today. And this was an edition of SAU Report. I'm Leigh Griffin.
And I'm Thomas Hart.
Thanks for watching.